when we think of contracts, we think that, oh, they will always be in writing, right? But that's not necessarily the case. So contracts can be in writing, they can be oral contracts, or they can be a combination of both. So usually when you enter into a business arrangement with someone, say your client or your supplier, the expectation is that it will be a contract in writing, because a contract in writing, there is formality involved. Whereas, when you go to the market, for example, to buy fruits, you're obviously not going to enter into a contract in writing. So that's an oral contract that takes place. So then the question would be, how do you know when a contract is in writing and when it is made orally? In most circumstances, a contract in writing or even an oral contract, they are equally valid. So it's not as if one has more power over the other, except for situations where under the law, the contract has to be in writing. When you see an advertisement like the one that was given on Facebook, say to sell a motorcycle, someone wants to sell his used motorcycle, and you see the advertisement on Facebook, that is actually not an offer. That is seen as an invitation to treat. So what that means is that that advertisement invites potential buyers to make an offer for the used motorcycle. So Rezan has touched on it, right? So if I have an advertisement for a motorcycle, say I'm selling for 10,000 ringgit, a potential buyer comes along and said, I'll buy it for 7,000. So what the buyer is putting forward, that is an offer. Okay, so it's offer to buy it for 7,000 instead of the 10,000 that was advertised. Now, if the seller accepts that 7,000 and also all the other relevant terms, then a contract can be said to have concluded. But if the seller then says, no, 7,000 is too low, I want at least 8,000 for my motorcycle. So that's a counter offer because he's countering the offer made by the buyer. So in essence, when it comes to contracts, there can be multiple back and forths. So there can be a lot of counter offers until finally, when both parties or even multiple parties accept all the terms on the table, that's when a contract comes into place. So this is why when you're negotiating with people, you want to be very clear what are the terms that are certain and have been finally concluded. Because if there is no certainty of the terms on the table, it can be argued that, oh, we never really had a contract. We were just discussing, we were just talking. We never agreed on anything. So the point here to be made is that when it comes to entering into a contract, you want to make sure that there's a meeting of minds. That means both parties agree and they're very clear as to what is it they have agreed to do.